Thank you for joining us with the podcast adventure, Chuck Crenshaw Podcast, with your host, Chuck Crenshaw. Thank you very much, and welcome back to Chuck Crenshaw Podcast, the podcast adventure. On today's show, I want to give you a reminder of my new book. The book called, what is my book called? Oh, yeah, the book is called COVID-19, the Pandemic of the World. Written by Chuck Crenshaw. Published by In-House Production. Distributed by Find Away Voices. And Find Away Voices sent me an email saying that we have a distribution update about Binge Books and BookBeat. Binge Books has joined our team, and Find Away Voices has dropped BookBeat from our partnership. Don't know why, can't explain it. But anyway, we have a new partner, Binge Books. In just a second, I'm going to go find the email to all the distributors that they sent me on my book. So, bear with me a moment and I will find this. Find Away Voices, right here. Nope, wrong one. Wrong email. So bear with me a moment and I will find this email. Here we go, right here. Nope, wrong email. Wrong email. Let me go back and I will find this email. Well, I thought I could find this email a lot quicker than that, but here we go, right here. This is definitely the book, the page. The distributors for dealing with COVID-19: Apple, Scribd, Nook Audiobooks, Kobo Walmart, HiBooks, Google Play, Chirp. Those are the distributions to COVID-19, Pandemic of the World. And the new distribution is Binge Books. So get over there and check them out. And let me know what you think. I've already sold a couple, well, I say I have. Find Away Voices and their distributors has already sold a couple of my books. And I highly appreciate that. And they were sold through libraries. And I found out that libraries sell a lot of audiobooks. So that goes to show you right there that libraries, and speaking of libraries pay double what the stores pay. Don't know why, can't explain it, but they pay double. And I like that. But anyway, I read where libraries sell more books than stores. And I always thought you checked out books whenever you go to the library. But anyway, they sell audiobooks. And they sell a lot of audiobooks from what I understand. They sell more audiobooks than stores sell audiobooks. So check them out. See what they got. Buy a book. Buy an audiobook. Buy my audiobook. Okay, now that I've got that out of the way, and you know where to find my book, my audiobook, please go check it out. Now, on today's show, I have a special guest. This special guest is an author, and she has written several books. And she has really impressed me with the email that I received from her and her associates. So I have invited her to come and be on my show. So please welcome from California, Miss Dasha Love.
Morning!
Good morning to you.
I am fantastic. How are you?
Doing just great. I am in Louisiana. Where are you calling from?
I am in Woodside, California.
California, a great place to
I
be.
can tell by your accent you are in Louisiana.
I hear you. So, how's the wildfires out there right now?
Ooh, to be honest with you, we left on an RV trip for like a month when they were happening, and we happened to come back when they were all done.
Oh wow, that's great. So you're
It, it,
not affected at all by them.
no, it's like the universe is watching over us, like it always does. And
That's
then when
great.
we were in Oregon, just as we left Oregon, the next day people were like, "You guys are in the fires. You got to leave." And I was like, "What fires?"
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. There's so many
Yeah.
people that lost everything, and I'm so
Oh,
glad to
yeah.
hear you wasn't affected. That's great.
Mhm.
Well,
Really
I
blessed.
have been preparing for this. This is not really going to be an interview. This is just going to be us talking and
Oh,
enjoying the show. So don't be nervous at all. I'm
no,
trying.
I'm not.
It's been a while since I've done any interviewing. I really don't do interviews on this type of show. But I was impressed with the email that I've got. I don't know who sent the email. It was
Willie, it's a guy who's working with me.
yeah, Willie. I can't pronounce that last name, but it's Aravelo.
Yes,
Arvelo. Okay, okay,
Arvelo.
okay. And your name is Dasha Love. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very great, very great. I'm getting all this right so far. And so, give me a rundown on your book. I haven't been able to read it, but I have glazed through it, and I'm understanding some of it, but I'm not really sure if I've got the correct.
The gist?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not sure if you got the gist of it.
That's right. That's right.
So,
So give me a
the book,
rundown on your book, please.
yeah, I would love to. I would love to. Thank you for the opportunity. So, my mom, when my mom passed away at 5 years ago, she's from cancer. She was 49 and 50 when she left.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
And it happened so suddenly, very fast, within 7 months after diagnosis, no previous signs. So at the end of it all, I was at the height of my career in high tech. I was making, 120K, 26-year-old girl, high-rise apartment in San Francisco, Mercedes-Benz. And when she was leaving, I was let go from my job because I couldn't fulfill, my sales quotas and things.
Right.
And it was the best thing that's ever happened to me because I got to spend the last 3 months by my mom's side, and no money could have ever replaced that.
That's correct. I do understand that.
Yes. And growing up, I had a really tough childhood, really tough upbringing because she was really, really, really strict. Because I come from a family of immigrants from Kazakhstan, Russia, to Israel, to America, and let's just say it was tough, like my parents had to clean schools for a living sometimes when we moved, just to put food on our table and give us shelter.
Right.
So, but the way that she raised me, she wanted me to be the type of person that she was. That she was very godly, orthodox. She wanted me to pray. She wanted me to be very structured, and all of that pressure, it was really taking a toll on me, making me feel like I wasn't good enough in
Right.
anything that I did because I was always criticized. I was always put down. Everything that I did was wrong, and then I turned to drugs and alcohol, running away from it all because I was trying to find love.
Right.
And when she was leaving, she made a confession to me that her brothers abused her when she was little.
Oh my goodness.
And then things started to make sense, and I started to see my mom not as this monster that abused me, which I thought she was abusing, but this person that had a lifetime of untold suffering, and she didn't find a place to share, so she was just projecting it, and
Right.
she didn't even know it.
Right.
And then I just began to have this unbelievable forgiveness toward my mother. And then, when the seeker starts seeking, I was like, what is the cause of cancer? What is the cause of all this pain I've had? Like, I started just asking questions. because I was living a life where I was drinking every night and attracting relationships that were abusive, thinking it was normal. I was creating a monster in my head. I hated the way that I look. So it was all dysfunctional, like putting a smile on my face, but in the background, running this program like I'm not good enough. Um, I'm never going to attract a good relationship. It's okay to be in an abusive relationship. He still loves me. So this kind of karmic cycle until I started to forgive my mom. Like I discovered that I had all of this anger inside of my body toward her, and then the process of forgiveness began. And I found different tools like the Ho'oponopono that I started repeating every day. This mantra, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And slowly but surely my heart was healing from all the years of strictness, which I thought, which made me feel like the world was against me. But in reality, she was just trying to do her best. She
Right.
was just scared that I would have a hard life. But a little kid doesn't understand that. When a
Right.
little kid is being told no constantly, you're bad, don't do that. Daddy, like what's wrong with you? You're not getting good grades. Like you feel like you're never gonna be, you're never gonna amount to anything. So then that healing process began through the different tools that I describe in the book. Like I discovered meditation, and I discovered that I wasn't even breathing properly my whole life. It was like, whoa, like each one of these things that I was discovering, I was implementing, and it was true. It was changing me until now. Like I'm literally manifesting everything I've ever wanted. A good relationship where I've learned to find my own happiness no matter what happens and just focus on myself because I can't change another person. I've resolved my family relationships where I'm not taking things personally because I can see the child inside the adult, that everyone's got their own story and you can't change another. All you can do is change your own and just love people no matter what they say or what they do.
So correct.
It's just, I know that I have to share this message to anyone that's willing to listen because it's possible to cross the bridge over to the other side. And most people, 95% of people, they're living at these lower vibrational states. Like they're living with this fear, with this blame, with the shame, with the guilt. And I want to show them that it's possible to not live that way. That it's possible to choose what you want to do at every given moment based on how you feel. And that at the end of the day, even if temporarily you feel like you're disappointing somebody, that you're going to be radiating love and joy. And that's what makes this world a better place.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. So then I provide all the tools as I discover them in the book and bring the reader along by asking the same type of questions, like to wonder, to question, to open up to viewing the world from a different perspective that perhaps they've never viewed before. Because when you can see it from a different perspective, like the perspective of a parent, because most parents' love language was acts of service, right?
Right.
And we wanted like physical touch. We wanted to feel accepted and loved, and we didn't get it because our parents didn't know how to give it.
Right.
So then when you realize that, then you're like, oh, like all my life I've been searching for something from my parents, wanting, craving this. They didn't know how to do it. So it's my turn to be that person to my kids, if I have kids, to my friends, to my family, to be that person that accepts, acknowledges, appreciates, says yes to people, to their dreams. Because my opinion is not irrelevant, you know? All I can do is hold space for people to find their own happiness and say, I'm gonna be here for you no matter what happens. You got this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
And I'm so glad I wrote. Go on, go ahead.
there's things called hardcore way of life, and if that's what you're adjusted to, and you come into a reality of easy living, as such as yourself, you were talking about the figures that you were making,
Yes,
and that changes you, but then you go back into the lifestyle that you were in, and you just don't know how to adjust.
yes, yes.
Right.
And you know, being let go from this high-tech job, like, it seemed to freak me out at the moment because I was used to the 9 to 5 grind, but it was the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Right.
I started waking up and now I'm making money on my terms in my different streams of income because I've let go of trying to control and fitting into a box of if I go and have a high tech job then I will be successful. You know, like reprogram myself that there's other ways that I can find ways to create abundance doing the things that I love. That I don't have to live inside of the check boxes that were prescribed to me by parents, by society.
That's right. You're living your life now.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, that's awesome, and that's great. And you come to knowledge that it's your life you've got to live.
Yes, yes. And it's now or never. Like taking the leap of faith, doing these uncomfortable things, having conversations where you get the door slammed on your face because the next one is gonna open.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
I do agree with that. That's right.
And it's been so beautiful. I can't even tell you. I'm sure you understand how beautiful life has become and how I'm becoming the magnet of these things that I want because I'm excited and I'm
Right.
happy and I'm like, come join me on this ride. And people are like, where do I sign up? How can I come? What do you need help with? As opposed to like, no, no, no. I'm getting yes, yes, yes.
Right.
It's incredible. It's incredible. On the other side of fear, there's a beautiful, delicious world where people want to play with you because you're excited like a child again.
I do understand that. I'm gonna ask you a few questions that I've came up with, and like I said, I wasn't too familiar with your book, but I have gone through it. How can folks find your book?
Oh, it is available on Amazon. It's The Girl with the Buddha Tattoo by Dasha Love on Amazon.com.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And how long has it been up for sale?
So, actually published the first edition in 2018.
Oh, there's more than one edition of it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm on edition 10, believe it or
10.
not.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that when I had the first layer of awareness that I had anger in the body and I just started implementing forgiveness, something inside of me said continue to write. It was like I was tapped into the flow and the book kept like whispering, come over here, come over here. I don't know, this might sound really crazy, but it kept sucking me in. And the more that I wrote, the more that I sat with myself, like basically communicating, being an open channel to spirit, the more levels of awareness came and the more clarity about different things, more kind of like downloads. I don't know if it makes any sense.
Yes, it does.
It does. So you know how you sometimes have like your intuitive, like come over here, do this, and I kept listening, like going back into the book to make it more and more clear. And I thought I was desperate to share my message with everybody in a simple way. And what it turned out to be is that I began to understand myself in a simple way.
Right.
Through each time that I released a new edition, I had more and more readers. And then it was like the conversations that I was having were giving me more downloads to go in and take myself even more and more out of the story. Because our story is a universal story.
Right.
Everybody has something in the past that's happened that they may be aware or not aware of that's preventing them from really believing in themselves now.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And it's like when you start pulling these stories, like they don't all come up right away. Like all these realizations, they're like a spiral. They come over time when you're open to receiving them, to receiving new ideas. Like after I released the first edition, when I was releasing the second edition, it dawned on me that my mom was my Messiah.
Right.
Because she woke me up. Otherwise, I would have never known that I needed to heal myself. Maybe our relationship would have continued. Maybe I would have remained in high tech, attracting abusive relationships, never healing myself. But she couldn't stop her stories projecting on me, so she got out of the way so I can live.
Right. I get the picture on that. I do.
Oh my God, my mom loved me. Like all this time I was thinking she abused me, she didn't love me, I wasn't good enough. And then I come to find out through the writing that she loved me so much. I was her first child, that she had to let go, get out of the way so I can live.
The teaching was over. It was time for you to understand.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm like, whoa. And instead of saying, oh my God, universe, why did you take my mother? Or why was I abused? I'm like, thank you for this lesson. And thank you for this lesson. And oh my God, I'm so grateful for this lesson.
The life that was a lesson that you didn't even know that it was a lesson.
Yes.
Right.
And it's like through the writing, like it just takes it out of you.
Right.
Through the meditation, you become centered, like through doing my daily rituals, my breath work, my forgiveness practices. every day it's a constant getting into the zone, getting into that consciousness, that purity, that source, divinity, into the heart. Every morning I do this, and then I'm reminded every day when something happens, it's not personal.
Right.
Breathe. Because the sooner you can realign yourself with forgiving somebody when they do something, realizing that they're just doing their best, the sooner you can be focused on your mission, like what you're doing. For me, like, share my message.
Right.
Do the next sale. Do these things, because if I'm caught in the stories of somebody like blaming me for something, for example, and then I talk about it, then I'm away from my mission. Then I'm away from love. If the sooner I can see the child inside the adult and really let go of what's going on around me, the sooner I can focus and be happy.
Right. Well, you mentioned that you were in some failed relationships. Are you in a relationship or married now?
Oh, I'm in the most beautiful relationship, and we've been wearing rings ever since we met.
That's
And it's
great.
been a year and a half, and I see myself in him. Like, I see the times when he gets upset, and I do my best. Like, sometimes, okay, sometimes I'm not perfect. Sometimes I still project back, but most of the time I'm able to keep centered and wait until the storm passes, or go do something that I enjoy doing, hiking or something, to release that energy. And then I come back into the situation and it's all cleared out.
That's right. Sounds like you've got a handle on your life. That's great. My next question was that I've written down to ask you, and these are really important questions for the show because of the fact that I really, like I said, I didn't read the whole book, but I have gone through some of it, and it caught my attention just with the email. So,
Thank you so
yes,
much.
yes, you're very welcome. And the question is, people will read your book and they will understand your life, but what can they expect to get from your book for themselves? What can they expect to get out of your book?
Yes. So this is why it took so long, and this is why it took so many editions, because now the way that the book is written is a conversation with the reader,
Right.
asking the reader the same questions that I had asked myself as I was going through it. Like, in the beginning, it starts out with when I was letting go of my high-tech job and my mom, was leaving and sending. I started asking myself, is there more to this life than the life that I'm living? So then I turned to the reader and I'm like, I want you to ask yourself the same question. Like, maybe today is that day when you start asking these broader questions. Is there more to your life than the life that you're living?
Right.
And then in every chapter, now it's more of a conversation, as opposed to the beginning. It was more me getting out the information. It was I, because I needed to realize my own story. And now I realize that it's a universal story. So I'm talking to the reader, and I'm like, do you think you've come here by accident? Do you think that there are talents and things that will make the world a better place, which you possess? And maybe today is that day when you let go of fear, or you do something you're afraid of and you overcome it, and you do that one thing that you love.
Right.
Maybe today you realize that you have a heartbeat. Well, what is making that heart beat? You don't have to be conscious of your heart beating, but something bigger than us is making it beat. And isn't that magical?
That's right.
And there's a reason for your heart still beating while so many others is not. There's something here for you that's bigger than you.
That's
Something
right.
for you to do that's making your heart beat. People leave, some people's lives is cut short. They don't live until 100. They live until 50. Some live at a young age. They get taken by a car accident, knock on wood, and their heartbeat's gone, but yours is still here.
That's right.
So what is it? What is, like, why are you here?
That's right. And you can also live your life dead
Yes.
as you can living your life alive.
Yes. Living dead is just being unconscious when something happened, blaming the other person, letting the stories control, like turning to booze, drugs, like constantly numbing yourself,
That's right.
or screaming at your significant other, or screaming at your kids, just lashing out all of this pain from the inside, unaware that you can change it.
That's right.
That you
That's a
can
whole
take.
brand new book, Living Your Life Dead or Alive. That's a great
I
book
like that.
title. Okay, that brings me to question number 3. You may have an answer to this, or you may not have an answer to this. You or Willie, whoever emailed me for you to come on my show, is why did you choose my show to represent your book? Like I said, you may or may not have an answer for this.
Actually, I'll be honest with you. I had a person that read my book, and then I asked him to find everyone that would be relevant for the content in the book.
Right.
So you came up actually in the search of transformation.
Awesome. Well,
Yes.
I'm glad I came up in it. That's great.
Yes.
And
yes.
like I said, welcome to my show.
Woo!
Okay, why did you choose to write about this book? This type of book?
I don't know if I necessarily chose or it chose me.
Right, I got the picture there. I do did it come to you or did you go to it? I understand that.
What was happening when my mom first passed away and I was discovering these things is people around me were amazed at how I was coping or how I was finding a way to find peace with what happened. That I was still joyous. I still found a way to enjoy my life, and they were like, "What? Like you're different. Like what's going on? How can you be this way? Like all these things that you're posting on Facebook, you're not just posting them, you're actually living them.
Right.
You like the things that you say, like finding joy in the dark place, da da da. Like I see you in real life, and what you're saying, who you are on your social media, that's exactly who you are.
Right.
And that's huge because people were like, most people are posting, they get inspired, but they're not actually living that life. And you are. You should write about this.
Right.
And then after like 30 people have told me I should write about this, it felt like the universe was banging on my head through people
Right.
saying, Dasha, your next step is to write. Like, I'm right here. This is the answer. That's your purpose. Go for it.
That's right. Well, I'll give you a short story about my life. I'm not going to give you a whole big detail of it because this is about your show here. But I had a broken neck years ago. I broke my neck back when I was like 21, 22 years old. And I didn't do anything about my neck at all until I was, till about 6 years ago. And I had to have a major neck surgery. And they took my entire neck out and they left me paralyzed for quite a long time. But I had to relearn how to walk and use my arms and my limbs. And I still can't do a whole lot with my right side. My right arm is almost completely, I can't use it that good. And my right leg is the same way. And it came out shorter than it was before the surgery. And my left side is numb. I can't feel anything on it, but I can use it better than I can my right side. I don't know how to explain that one, but anyway, I went from working like you were talking about on your figures. I was making really good money doing what I was doing. I was a pump truck operator, and I went from making that type of money to disability. So I had to relearn how to adjust my life and my bills, and my wife had to go through a transformation on everything, So I do understand what you're saying, and I have watched people struggle, and I have watched them succeed, and I'm like, well, how can I do this? How can I live like this? But I have went through that transformation myself, so I do understand, and I see the picture.
Oh my God, you are absolutely incredible.
Thank you very much, and I thank God for letting me see that money's not everything. Life is worth more than money could ever amount. But I think I have more now than I did then, and because I have love and I understand love now. But I have gone down the road of where I'm like, what's tomorrow going to look like? Do I really need to be here? But I understood how things can be with me here versus me not being here. So.
Wow. Chuck, you're incredible.
Thank you very much. And it's a real big adjustment. And I'm still adjusting. It's already been 6, maybe 7 years now, but I'm still adjusting. But I have gone through a lot more than I'm looking into the future on versus what I've gone through versus what I'm gonna go through. I'm hoping this is all I'm going to go through.
You're a miracle, you know?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Wow. So God, Spirit, gave you another chance.
That's right. That's right. And a whole brand new life. So,
Wow.
yes, I was 100-0 for his mileage. I was gone. I was getting after it, and I was making all kinds of money, and not seeing my family versus me now seeing my family all the time. So, yeah.
Oh.
So
Wow.
my question
What a change. What a change.
That's right. It was a big change, and I'm glad it happened to me where I can wake up and see the picture, and now I'm living a different life, and I've had people over the years, man, you need to slow down. You need to slow down. Life, you can only live life once, and I didn't understand all that, but I do now. And they were right. You do live life once, and you need to slow down and find your life. Don't live it for the money, and don't live it for someone else. Live it for you.
Amen.
So
I truly believe, and I've seen abundance come with such ease now that it's like it's me.
That's right. That's right. I've seen people, I'm not going to call any names, but movie stars, they have so much to offer for, they could donate money to people that need money and stuff like that. They have so much of it, but then they take their lives. I'm like, why? What was in your life that you had to do that? You have so much to offer other people, but you're going to take your life. It had to be bad.
Well, I feel like on that note, I feel like there is something called like the sense of fulfillment, like the sense of like transformation, like having like a vision to go toward. Like if you've fulfilled already the things that you wanted to fulfill, sometimes you no longer have this something you're going toward, and then life becomes kind of mundane, and you're like, oh, and then you get caught up in storms because you have nothing to focus and continue basically to live for.
That's right. Or it seems that way. It's definitely a hardcore feeling that you get inside of you that you can't shake by yourself sometimes.
Yeah. And I talk about this in my book, that the hardest thing for people to do, and it was for me as well, is to ask for help.
Right.
Because we think that we're alone in the head, or we think that we're alone in the struggles, or we shouldn't have those struggles. But when we start speaking up, we start to see that every person is struggling with similar stuff.
That's right.
But yet, if we don't speak, we never have that realization. We never release these feelings out of our bodies because we keep thinking that it's us against the world.
That's right. And the main thing about my life is I see people that are worse off than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And that wakes me up more than anything. I'm like, man, I hurt so bad every day, and I can't do this and I can't do that. And then I see this person that has no arms or has no legs or something like that, and I'm like, wow, I've got it made.
Well, you learn how to appreciate, even though you're still having a hard time walking. And can you walk?
I can walk. I can't run, but I can walk. And I can't walk that fast and that far. But like if we go to Walmart or something, I 9 times out of 10 stay in the car while my wife goes in, because she walks 90 miles an hour. But I can't keep up with her. But my son and I went hunting day before yesterday, and I just mostly went to take him because the fact that I couldn't get out there in the woods, he had to help me up a little small hill, and I couldn't hardly tote my gun, and my back started hurting so bad. But anyway, we enjoyed it. So, but no, I can't get around that good, but I do, and that's the main thing.
You're unbelievable, Chuck. You're actually still doing things, and you're not saying, "Oh my God, for me," and having your own pity party. You're looking at the bright side and still moving, still doing your best.
That's right. And what brought me across podcasting was I had a band of my own. I play music, and I had a band of my own. And when I got my surgery, of course, we had to split up for a while, a long while, matter of fact. And I said, I've got all this equipment. What am I going to do with it? And that's how I became podcaster. So it turned out great. So,
amazing. And you're really good. That's how we fished you out.
Well, thank you very much. And I do it all myself. I do all the editing. I do the distributing. I find all these companies that help me distribute, and so I do pretty good, I think.
You're amazing.
Well, thank you.
Well, you found a plan B after you couldn't be in a band anymore. Did you play something or did you sing?
I sung and I play guitar and I play a little bit of keyboard and play very little drums, but I do so. But I enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it because I'm getting myself back where I can play again. So.
Wow, that's amazing. I bet that feels good to be able to do something again that you used to do and then weren't able to do for a while.
It does. I never thought I would get it back, but it's coming back. So
Yes.
that's great.
Because it's you. You're strong enough.
That's right. I can see the future ahead of me as long as I work for it.
Amazing. Yes.
I have to work for it.
One of my you have to work. Yes, totally. One of the tattoos on my back says you were given this life because you're strong enough to live it.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I have to work a lot harder for things that I get now for as muscle wise, working harder than I did back then, but I learned to appreciate it more now than I did when it was easier to do. So my question number 5, getting back onto your book, is how did you come up with the title to your book?
Good question. It's actually, I have a full back tattoo, and at first I intuitively was thinking the girl with the Buddha tattoo, but because there's a girl with the dragon tattoo, and then I actually changed the title for a minute there to not be focused on me, and then I had people say, "What are you doing? Like, you are the girl with the tattoo." And it came through other people that were like, "That's the title of the book." So I had to surrender and say that is who I am. So that's why the title is The Girl with the Buddha Tattoo.
Oh wow. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, now that you told me that you have a extended version of your book, should I say, you got more books of the same topic. How many books do you have on the market?
So I have 4 books on the market, and they're quite a variety types of topics, and they actually just like flowed through me as I was working on this big book. So I have a children's book out. I have a real estate book because I've been doing real estate.
Right, I saw that.
Natural for me to write, and I have a coloring book as well called
Right, I saw that as well. Are they doing really good on the market?
So I haven't done much promotion because I've been doing mainly content creating.
Right.
And but people are coming to me asking me to coach them too. So I'm just kind of like slowly getting into the arena of helping people transform their lives and learning how to flow just like I have. But I feel like it's the background work is the most important work. Because once your background is solid, like when you transform yourself, and that requires, many years writing or whatever, however you choose to transform yourself, that's the hard part. The easy part is to go out there once you feel like you're solid.
Right. Okay. Since we talked about you have other books on the market, and you just told me that you have some real estate books and stuff like that on the market, let's talk about some of that.
Okay.
So, how did you get into real estate?
So I got into real estate a few years back, actually, when I was previously married. My previous partner thought that I was a great salesperson, and why not try to sell homes? Because I was my whole life I was in sales and marketing. So then he said, try that because that will give you the greatest amount of abundance. So then I was already writing at the time, and writing, it takes time until you see the fruits of your labor.
That's right.
Because you first have to create the content, and that's the hard part.
That's
And
right.
then I just kind of always knew that the writing is gonna be what's the writing and the message is gonna be what's gonna explode. But sometimes you need gasoline to your fire. You need you need to put gasoline into your Porsche, which is your big dream. So the real estate ended up being my gasoline, my path to freedom, financial freedom while I was creating. And it's funny that it came in a way so easily for me because as I was writing, I was learning how to trust more, and I got a coach that taught me how to believe in myself. And it was almost effortless where a lot of people, quit that kind of job within 18 months. Mine exploded because I was still doing something that I really, really enjoyed on the side and continued on my big mission, my big goal, which is to share the message. But I was splitting my time temporarily with real estate.
Right.
hmm And the type of people I've met, oh my God, I can't even tell you. And every open house, I would bring my books, all the different books, and people would grab books, sometimes pay me for the books, would read the books, and I've just gotten friends through open houses um, that were talking to me about my dreams and my mission. And actually, a few people that have purchased houses from me was direct result of them reading my books.
Right.
Because we had this connection that was like, for example, I had a friend who bought my San Mateo house because she read the book. She had a dysfunctional relationship with her mom. Slowly they worked through it. The book was a catalyst for that. And in return, there was this connection there for the purchase of the house. So it's all connected. At first, I thought it was all separate pieces. Like why am I doing this? I want to be doing this. But now I see it more and more that it's all part of my purpose. And I need to change and transform and be loved from exactly where I stand.
That's an
Yeah.
awesome situation, and it's a big time story to tell. So it's good that you do write, so you can get that information out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
It's like surrendering, right? Like you gotta surrender to what's happening,
I do
and
understand.
flow with it. You can't try to control things because if you do, you're not gonna be happy.
That's right. That's right. Number 7. I have seen your website. Can you explain the navigation of your website?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So my main theme and the theme of my life is to help people overcome these lower vibrational states, which is the anger, shame, fear, guilt, and tap into their flow, their abundance, their limitless potential. So all that I do in my books, my speaking, and I have a lot of live videos I had done on YouTube, my interviewing, the music that I create is all to help people tap into this path of transformation. So the website is basically all the different things that I offer um, for people out there that are ready to take the leap,
Right.
transform, to get not only inspired, but also like the book gives you actual steps to take. Because inspiration is BS, let's face it. We can
That's right.
continuously get inspired and inspired and inspired, and there's a lot of people are inspirational junkies, but it's about what you do with that. Like, what is that step you're taking forward? Like, do you need someone to hold your hand, or can you do it by yourself? Can you do it every day? If you choose prayer or meditation or breath work, or what I teach in the book is 7 steps daily ritual with forgiveness practices, can you do that every day and change that muscle? Change your mind, transform the subconscious. So it's like I provide the tools, and if you want to walk the path with me, you can contact me to do it. But if you can do it alone, please, I give you all the tools on my website, the way that I create a vision board using the 7Fs, the daily rituals, the way that to attract love. I give it all for free to people on my website. If they can do it themselves, yes. If they can't, get in touch. Let's do it together.
That's right. And I see that you give a lot of stuff away for free, and I'm like, how does she do this? I know it costs you to do things, and it costs you to have a website for sure.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to design a website, it costs you for a website designer, and I'm going through that right now as we speak with my show because I'm having to have 2 websites, well, actually 3, because I've got a publishing company as well. So
Amazing.
I'm going through the part of, being able to get the websites to where I can manage them, because if I don't, it's going to cost me even more to manage the websites. But
Yeah. Squarespace is so far the easiest platform I've used, and I've used many.
really, so
Yeah.
I go through WordPress, and I tell you what, that I don't
No,
know the
WordPress,
differences.
don't do it. Don't do it.
Right.
I battled for years figuring it out because when I just started on my entrepreneurial journey, I was creating websites for people, logos, and all of that fun stuff because I come from marketing. That's my background. So I was doing that, and WordPress was my first platform, and never again.
I do understand your theory there. That's for sure. Um,
And if you want, I can walk you through it. It's very simple for me.
right. Uh, is your book or any of your books in audio?
So that's coming.
That's coming. Okay, that was my next question. If
Yes,
no,
I purchased all of the fun, extremely expensive equipment,
oh wow, I
and
wish I hadn't have done that already, because that's what I do. I sell the equipment to do that kind of stuff.
oh really? What do you sell?
I sell everything there is that you need to do that with. My next question was, if no, do you have any plans on making them into audiobooks? If so, when
Yeah,
do you expect to do this?
yes, the audiobooks I expect will come out January.
In January, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, awesome. Are you gonna be the narrator, or who's gonna be the narrator?
I probably will be the narrator because I have a lot of emotions and I feel that it will come across because that's the juice.
Right, right. Do you have plans on how you're gonna distribute them?
At the moment, I'm forming partnerships with people, beautiful people like yourself,
Right,
um, to see how we can collaborate and
right.
cross promote. And I also absolutely love videos and podcasts and things. So just like you, I love to speak. I love interacting with people. So I feel the more that I do that, the faster the message will spread.
That's right. Well, as soon as this show's over with, I will collaborate with you on all this.
Oh, you're
And
amazing. I would
and
love to. You're wonderful.
sounds great. And how long has your book been on the market? Have I asked that already?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I told you that it's been on the market since 2018, and
Okay,
because
okay.
I kept working on it, thinking I was doing it for other people, it ended up being doing it for myself because I've become more clear to taking myself out of the story with each layer because each layer still had some he said, she said that happened to me. But when you take it out and you realize that it's not personal, that it's all universal story, it's all a gift, that's when it becomes beautiful. And but it takes time
That's
when
right.
you're writing,
That's right.
because there's so many different stories, so many things that we've done in life. And when you think you're out of the story, there may be more stories you need to get out of.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Okay, number 10 is probably a question that you have already answered in a roundabout way, and I didn't get a chance to to ask the question. So, but I'm going to ask it anyway, and if you want to, we can skip it because you may have already answered it. How long have you been writing books? Is it a childhood dream come true for you?
I've been writing for five years,
5 years?
and I recently revisited my childhood as I was writing. And actually, when I was 7, when my family moved from, and it's an excellent question, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, excellent question. When I was 7, when my family moved from Kazakhstan to Israel, we immigrated twice. I remember when we were cleaning schools for a living, because in that transition, it's hard until parents get their real job from their careers. We're kind of in limbo. So we were cleaning schools for a living, and I remember pretending like I was a teacher in the schools. And now it's coming around full circle because I absolutely enjoy teaching, but I had to discover that through the writing of the book, which is in its own way teaching. But now I absolutely love speaking and explaining and basically channeling answers to the questions that people have because I learned how to get out of my own head.
Wow.
So childhood dream I just discovered has been a teacher and a performer and the book was a conduit to realizing this.
Right. I do understand. Well, I've always wanted to write, and I was a kid when I first did my first little story, and of course I put it in one of my books that I had someone else to narrate, and it's called, what was my book called? I don't forget the name of the book. Preparing to be a Narrator. That's the name of the book. And
cool.
I had someone else to narrate the story because I thought maybe they had a bigger following, so they could sell more books than what I could. So I had someone else to narrate it. And in
how did that
book,
work out?
it didn't work out too good at all.
So you think you should do it yourself?
Well, the fact of it is, I went through Amazon, no, not Amazon, Audible.com, and you have a 7-year contract with them if it's exclusive, and I went exclusive through them because I was using their narrators, and so I have to wait another 2, maybe 3 years, I think, for the book. So,
you know, this couldn't have come at a perfect time.
Really?
And now you're teaching me how to be a narrator, and that's exactly that's my next step, huh?
I've been doing it for a long time. I sure have. Ever since I've been hurt, which was been like 6 years ago when I had my surgery. So I was actually doing it before that, but it wasn't long. Now I've got another question for you, and this one right here is a pretty familiar question to you, but you've probably been chasing around the answers for this for a while and just don't know how to actually, I don't know how to ask the question, but anyway, here it is. Who is your publisher or publishers?
Who is it?
Who is your publisher or publishers? Since you got different books out, do you have different publishers, or do you have the same publisher, or are you self-published, or what?
Currently it's just self-published.
Right.
Because I haven't really learned the game of approaching publishers and finding an agent, but definitely would love to do that. And I don't know if I'm disqualified if I've already published on my own or not. But I would love to understand more about that and figure out how to match myself up with a publisher.
Do you have anything that you would like to tell the public about you or your book or anything that you have acknowledged in your life?
Yes. First of all, I have so much gratitude for you for doing the work, for doing God's work, for standing up after you've, been paralyzed and finding will to live and finding purpose and now collaborating and interviewing others. Like, I just want to say thank you to you.
Thank you.
You're incredible. Your story is amazing. I'm excited to see where our collaboration goes.
That's right.
And just like you, I want to inspire everyone how you were able to get up after loss, after such pain, to be able to get up.
That's right.
To be able to transform, to ask these broader questions, to know that there is help out there. There's people out there like you and I and many others who've gone through it, that they don't have to do this alone.
That's right.
That there are others that have the keys, the tools, the knowledge, the wisdom, that know how to break free from this pain.
That's correct.
So that's all I want to do, is to inspire, share the tools, and extend my hand to all those who are ready, all those who are willing, open to help open hearts.
That's right. And can you also tell the folks how to get a hold of your book?
Yes. So you can check out the book on Amazon. It's The Girl with the Buddha Tattoo, and I'm Dasha Love. And also I have a very simple website where you can see my book, see my music, which I've also created, which is also to help people awaken. The website is just dasha.love, DASHA.LOVE. There's no .com. We're gonna change this world from a commercial world to a loving world right now.
That's right. So we have covered your website. We have covered Amazon. and we have covered. No, we didn't cover this part. You have a free copy. Is that the same as the book, or is that
Yes,
just an off?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes. For those that are unable to afford, um,
Oh wow.
for those that can't do this energetic exchange, again, this is bigger than me. Grab the book for free. Let's talk about it. If you can't afford it, obviously there's some blockage, financial blockage there. So let's talk about it. Let's work on it. I mean, I believe that the more we give, it exponentially comes back in
Right.
so many different ways. So I give everything to everybody because I've seen the magic that you call God, spirit, whatever you call it, has blessed me with and continues to bless me with. So if you knew me in person, you would see I give away everything. If somebody
Right.
likes something, this is yours.
I have
Like,
noticed that. I have noticed that a lot. I'm like, how can she do this?
and people
uh,
say this is crazy, but the amount and how blessed I feel and how much love I feel, it's bigger than any of this stuff.
that's right.
So much bigger.
So the
Yeah.
message is more than money.
Yes,
That's
but the money I'm telling you is coming from different ways that I don't even expect. And
right.
just when I need it, and just how much I need for the next thing. So it's all about like figuring out how much I need. So the vision is so important. I talk about it in the book. How much I need, why I need it, and that's the driver.
Well, I was getting ready to go hunting the other day, and when I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, well, I was actually already awake, so I got up and was waiting to wake my son up. I was watching the television, and a church program came on. And if you're interested in knowing who it was, I'll go back and figure out who it was for you. But this guy says, if you're where you're supposed to be, the money will be there.
Woo!
Isn't that a message? That is a
Yeah.
message out of this world. You don't have to ask for money. If you're where you're supposed to be, the money will be there. God will make sure you're taken care of.
Yes. And boy, it's so true.
That's right. That's right.
Because if you're where you're supposed to be, that means you're at the higher vibrational states.
That's
You're in
right.
the flow, you're doing the things that you love, so you're not forcing life.
That's
Life is
right.
happening for you. And
And
that's
if the
when you're
money's
a
not
magnet.
there, you're not going to stay because you can't eat. You can't do anything if the money's not there. So that's not where you're supposed to be.
Amen. Oh, this is good. Yes, if you find it, I love that.
Yes, I will definitely go back. I recorded this show. It didn't record the whole show. I don't know why, but I recorded this show, and it did introduce his name. So I will go back and get that for you.
Oh, you're amazing. And I want to collaborate with you. I'm feeling this amazing. Your heart is just incredibly open.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Can't wait to see where this goes. But this has uplifted me today. Right now,
All right.
I'm on fire because of you.
Well, our show is about to be up. I've got to put end of the show. I got to put my music in and everything, so the timing will be right. But I have certainly enjoyed talking with you, and like I said, we're going to collaborate after the recording, so you don't have to hang up. So we'll just end the show. So, but I do thank you for.
I'm on all the social medias, so tag me
Oh,
and whatever
sorry.
you need. If you ever need any resources, please let me be the first one. Ask me. I'm pretty resourceful.
I'm so sorry. I forgot to ask you about the social media part. I should have written that down, but I didn't. Can you go ahead and explain how to get a hold of you on social media?
Yes, I am everywhere. You cannot miss it. I'm on Instagram. I am on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. Just got a TikTok. I'm all over. So if you type Dasha Love, you will find one of my social medias through Google. And
awesome.
You can, anyone listening, if you wanna add me on Facebook, write to me. I'm gonna take the time to address and speak to everyone who reaches out.
That is so awesome. That's awesome. Well, we thank you for doing that as well. And
thank you.
And from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you having someone to do the networking and find me to have you put on my show today. So
yes. I mean, this is all divine, right?
That's right.
Divine.
That's right. That's right. And I sure thank you for being on my show today, and we'll hope to see you back another day to explain where this show has taken you.
Ooh, now I'm excited.
That's right. So we'll talk to you again on the next Chuck Crenshaw podcast.
Yes. I love that. Before and after.
We're going to leave links with this show on how to get to Dasha Love's books, her website, and her social medias. And we appreciate if you check her out. Thank you, Dasha Love, for being on Chuck Crenshaw Podcast, the podcast adventure. And we thank you for joining us today. And we will see you on the next podcast adventure. Thank you. This show and every other show that I do, Chuck Crenshaw Podcast, the podcast adventure, is published by In-House Production.